Oh, hello there. I didn't see you there. And it seems you have called me plain with thyself. Ha 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 ha. No, in all seriousness, you've caught this sad British Goth boy playing Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition by himself, using my own homebrew, the Autarka Storyteller, which, at the moment of this recording, is not available anywhere, but it will be soon, so check up in the descriptions below for when that goes live, and the various social media pages. And this is all part of the Playing with Thyself podcast. Last time, we talked about some of the materials I'm going to be using, the dice, books, for which there was a new one, which is currently what my phone is sat on. You're going to have to check out the latest episode that I recorded, which was episode 3, to find out what that book is. But we're going to talk about the homebrew itself now, the Eternal Struggle table and the Jihad rating, two tables that form a much larger table that really serve as the homebrew's linchpin, and without this, the whole thing would fall apart. Now, if you're playing by yourself, you're both playing the role as storyteller and player, or in a more general sense, games master and player. Now, as a player, you don't have to worry about knowing what the story is, you just follow through it. If you're games master or storyteller, you do a lot of planning. But if you're playing both, you don't really want to do all that work. I mean, maybe you do, but if you've got no experience running any sort of games, you're going to need a bit of help via an oracle system, which is what the Eternal Struggle table is, which is basically a list of various probability factors, each with their own numbers, their own chances, and you roll a D100 to determine what those are, which usually is a D10 and a D100, which both look the same, but the numbers are ever so slightly different, as I'm sure you can imagine. Or, in my case, you can roll a D100 ball, link in the descriptions below. So, what this is, maybe I should give you an example. My character, who I'm not going to name or share the clan or anything, has been sent off to a warehouse by a contact of theirs to retrieve an artifact of some description. Now, the contact doesn't know if there are going to be people there, or any sort of humanoid-like figures, because they're supernaturals as well. This is, after all, the world of darkness. So, we basically need to decide whether, first of all, there are going to be people there, or humanoid figures, or, if there are, how many are there? But it basically determines on this roll. So it's basically going to be a 50-50 split to see there's either going to be people there, or there's not. There's like 50-50. Okay, so using the Eternal Struggle table, that is actually 59 or below, 50 to 59 or 59 below, whichever way you want to view it. However, that is where things get a bit more complicated, because we have to consider our Jihad rating. Now, the Jihad rating of this character is 2, and the Jihad rating is essentially how much of fate is in their favour, because you know Vampire the Masquerade. Jihad is the big supernatural political chess game where the neonates and your characters are the pawns being moved about. And as you're being moved about, you're having life more and less in your control throughout each night. And that's essentially what this means. And mechanically speaking, our Jihad rating is at 2, so we actually take 10 or less. So the chances of our getting the result that we want is lower. You see how this works? So, with our example here, rather than 59 or less, it is 49 or less. And I don't want there to be people there. So 49 or less will say that there are humanoid figures of some description. If it's over that, then there are. That is 92, which means there are some humanoid figures there. Now we need to determine whether they are supernatural or regular mortals. I really want them to be mortals, and again, this is going to be a 50-50 split just for the sake of ease. Yeah, so again, we're using our Jihad rating. We would be looking for 59 or below, but actually it is 49 and below. If it's 49 and below, then the individuals out there are mortal. If it's higher, it's supernatural. What do you think of these simple systems so far? Oh.